Want some coffee, Baker?
Hey, Mac needs to talk to you.
What about you, Frankie? You believe in fate?
Ugh, not this shit again. I'm getting some of that coffee.
I'm serious.
Damn, I don't know, Doss. Some people get shot, some people don't. Don't seem to make shit.
Just ask yourself, honestly. Could I lug around and fire a 20-pound gun all day?
Do you live in a fantasy world? Is it
Nice there.
I'm carrying a goddamn bazooka!
Everything okay? Who's that?
It's Lieutenant Colonel Cole, Matt.
What? How? What?
There's crowds everywhere! White one! We need support now, goddammit! This is Kick Off Blue! There's Jerry all over! We need support now! We got MJ, Mortars, Artie, every goddamn thing firing at us! I don't give a shit what bullshit they're giving you! Whatever breath you got left, you use it to scream into that goddamn radio! And keep your head down! This is Kick Off Blue! Can anyone hear me? Doran, keep your goddamn head down! Bob? Bob!
When our plane started strafing us, he ran a few men into the field to lay panels. He was behind the other men and just... well, he was straightening the panels.
Why would he?
Matt, I have no idea. He did that a couple of times, and then there was a crack. We never found the sniper. Just a tally he left behind on the windowsill. I mean, he was there, and then he wasn't. Just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It never does.
Oh, should I go get a ruler? My money's on Roselli.
Red, I need to talk to you for a second.
This is a terrible loss, Sergeant. Did you get the bastard?
Sir?
Yes, Sergeant?
Did you get word from Division yet about where recon is going?
Well, my guess is you'll want to tell him yourself, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. I'd like that very much, sir.
Why would he do that? Why would he do something so goddamn reckless?
He saved a lot of lives, Red.
And now how many will die because he isn't around to lead them? It's not about one battle, man.
Would you prefer he was still around with nothing to lead instead? What's the life of one officer worth to you? 20 men? 40?
You know damn well I value...
Everything all right here?
Just talking. What do you need?
Division has ordered your men to Eindhoven to rendezvous with Sink in the 506. You'll be linking up with 30 Corps. Good luck.
That it?
If you want my advice, and that's rhetorical, keep the war out there.
I don't care how much dirt I've swallowed in the last 2 days. These Jeeps beat the hell out of walking everywhere.
When do I get to drive?
When the Army hands out tractors.
I need you ladies to drive those Jeeps around the back of the 88. It's just down the road. Cut through the fields and set up an OP in the church. We'll catch them with their pants down.
Well, hello and welcome everyone. This is Cavalier Astoria, and today we're continuing on with Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. So, yeah, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Cole was killed during Operation Market Garden. He was very much a frontline leader, so oftentimes he did kind of unnecessarily expose himself to any fire. Come on. There we go. And unfortunately that did lead to his death. Now, obviously we are at Eindhoven, and now we're trying to help secure the city. Now, of course, Eindhoven was kind of the main objective of the And of course I died here. I always die here. Eindhoven was always kind of the main objective for the 101st in Market Garden.
Move to that position!
Now this leads to a kind of a weird little quirk of this section. I'm not in charge of anyone from my squad. For some reason I'm in charge of Paddock and only Paddock. Oh well. So we're gonna be the flanking team attempting to get around. Come on. Baker, get over. God.
Stay low and go!
I keep forgetting. You actually want to kind of be back here.
Move now! Attack them!
Come on. Alright, I might leave Paddock to pin them. And well, I'm gonna go ahead and move around here. Try to deal with this guy. And of course, can't flank around. Alright, that did not go well. Alright. Come on, buddy. Oh, really? That super shaky. God. Do you see why I really don't like the good old shaky sights? Like, it really does not make sense. Like, it really doesn't make sense for cover to be that, for the sights to be that shaky. Now, you may have vaguely kind of heard this. I think I missed that little section. But Baker has kind of a PTSD type moment, or at least a flashback moment of Leggett here. I obviously missed it because I wasn't looking for it. And yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of how they did it here because, well, like I said right there, you can easily miss it. So it's like, if you can easily miss it, it's usually not a very strong, like, story beat. Although I think there's better sort of, not necessarily, well, it would be story beats. Alright, come on. Good.
Take cover there.
Paddock, move up.
Quick, get over there! Paddock, that way! Double time!
Come on. Another thing that I've kind of noticed about this game, replaying it, is that frequently with the grenades, it takes like multiple presses in order to actually, you know, get the grenade to come up.
Move.
Which is a little annoying. Let's go ahead. Grab the M1. Let Paddock suppress. Come on, buddy. Come on. Raise up. Stand up. Come on. Really don't want to waste a grenade on you.
Go now.
Alright, let's go ahead and move up. Yeah, sometimes it's not even worth trying to aim down the sights because... God, this annoys me. Like, Baker's, like, not holding the rifle steady whatsoever. And the second you start moving, it's like he's a drunk rhino. Like, ugh.
Oh, son of a bitch!
Paddock still being the best character. I don't see how that was going to open the door, but... Generally speaking, it's not a good idea to shoot open locks, because more often than not, you get shrapnel in your face if you do it.
Get moving, men.
The most oblivious Germans in the world. Let's move Paddock there.
Hurry up! Over there! Fire on that position!
Alright, let's have Paddock suppress. Okay, yeah, he probably should have been dead after that. I know it seems like I'm really ragging on this game, and it's because I am. I'll talk a little bit more about the absolute clusterfuck on how Gearbox decided to treat this franchise.
Let's give 'em all we got!
Which, if you don't know... Oh god. Stupid ragdoll. But, yeah, this franchise was not particularly treated well by Gearbox because after this game was released, they would end up releasing the Furious 4, or at least attempted to release the Furious 4. So this was a game set in the, well, I was about to say set in Brothers in Arms series. No, it really wasn't. Basically, it was this... I don't even know how to fucking describe it. Like, the trailer came out and everyone universally hated it because it was atrocious.
Paddock! Hit him hard!
Yeah, this game has a lot of bugs. And I think the AI is way worse in this game. But basically, the Furious 4 was a bizarre attempt to kind of make like a generic, heroic, like, I guess shooter. Oh, we just lost Paddock. But it was like a really bizarre game where basically it was like the whole idea was you had 4 guys in the Brothers in Arms world. And keep in mind, the Brothers in Arms series as a whole is a grittier military shooter. So they ended up creating a lighthearted, like, gratuitously violent game about 4 random guys in the stereotypical, like, this guy's the smart techie guy, and this guy's like the guy who does the like close quarters combat, and this is your sniper and stuff like that. It's like such a generic little thing, and absolutely was not Brothers in Arms whatsoever, to the point where officially to this day there is no like continuation on with this series. It just kind of just ended here, and it actually ended on a cliffhanger, which is kind of a shame, because while I think this is overall a step back from the previous 2 games, I still think there was enough here. Drunk Baker striking again. there was enough here to actually make the game more, the rest of the story more interesting. But, you know, they just, for some reason, weren't interested in actually, kind of pursuing that. Yeah, for some reason. And, of course, Gearbox would never get around to actually making the original Brothers in Arms series. They would later, take the theory, well, take that, trailer and take all the gameplay that they were working on after the huge backlash Brothers in Arms players did, to the, trailer. And they would use it to create, like, a generic shooter that everyone's already forgotten about, because that's how, like, frickin' generic that thing was. They literally could have slapped a whole nother IP on it, and it literally did not matter. It was the same fucking game. It was like called Battleborn or something like that, like a really generic, stupid title for a game.
Target that area!
Alright. But yeah, this was a, oh, we have another Kilroy, which is kind of like the collectibles in this game. Oh. Yeah, I'm not in a good place, so I'm gonna back up. But yeah, this was very much in the, Gears of War era, trying to compete with Gears of War instead of doing their own thing, which it still pisses me off today with modern video games because they still fucking do this shit. Where they go, ooh, this game is popular. And then they just try to copy it. And that's it. And it's like, look, like, games became popular because they gave an audience something that's completely unexpected. And that the audience would, you know, latch on. I mean, just take a look at Helldivers 2. Like, if you told people before Helldivers 2, hey, this game is gonna come out, and, you know, it's a 4-person, you drop in, do a bunch of missions, and then, you know, basically a 4-person online game where you drop in, kill a bunch of things, and kind of that's the entire gameplay loop. There's probably going to be more than a few people saying, you know what, that'll be a really fucking boring game. And guess what? Helldivers 2 is now one of the funnest games ever. And it's one of the best games in modern gaming right now.
Titan formation.
Meanwhile, every single game now is just trying to be fucking Fortnite. Every game is just trying to be fucking Fortnite or Minecraft or any combination of that, instead of realizing that if you want to have a game that is that successful, then you actually have to put in time and effort and make a unique, interesting game. Especially with, like, modern development time. Like, with modern development time in video games, you're not creating a game in, like, a year. They could take, like, 6 years to develop. So by the time you develop based off of a trend, you know, it's already gone. Like, nobody's playing that game anymore. And, of course, it gets released, and that's how you get stuff like Concord that released and bombed immediately because it was a hero shooter based to take on Overwatch. And guess what? Overwatch is not popular anymore. Either way, Paddock is here to rescue the day.
I'll be sending the rest of your friends your way real soon. You okay?
But that's to say, Gearbox, please release Brothers in Arms 4. An actual Brothers in Arms 4.
Him. That bastard shot Cole. Let's get back to the guys.
I mean, how are you sure that that was the guy who shot him? There's a lot of snipers.
I've been looking for Americans. Oh, it's you. Your face was in better shape when we last met. Well, there are 2 of those large cannons located nearby. I also spotted an ammunition dump and a fuel station. I drew a map for whoever I could find.
Spread out. Check your weapons.
I mean, it's kind of late to check your weapons. I mean, you should be checking your weapons before you go into combat, but...
Let's stick together. Let's
hey,
bring
what
it
do I
in.
know? Alright, so we got the bazooka team and the assault team in. One thing that I'm...
We need the bazooka there.
Actually, let's get the
Get the
bazooka over
bazooka
there.
out
Let's
over
get the
there.
assault team there. One thing I'm actually honestly kind of sad about is that
get moving.
the assault
Set up
team
over
and
there.
the fire team kind of just became like one element. Like they're kind of the same, and that's kind of the unfortunate little like result of like them kind of simplifying the game. Because honestly, I can't really tell much difference between the assault team and the fire team anymore in this game as compared to the previous games. Meanwhile, let's actually talk about things I actually like about this game. First things first, it portrays war crimes actually pretty damn well. I actually do like how it gives the resistance, like the Dutch resistance, a lot more credit, and they frankly deserve a lot more credit. I mean, because whenever they show resistance movements, it's always the French resistance, and I'm gonna say this right now, I think the French resistance probably did the least, out of all the resistance movements. Now, that's not saying that they were worthless or anything, they were actually a critical, component of the liberation of France. But the problem is, I think a lot of people don't realize, the French resistance spent almost just as much time fighting each other as they did the Germans. In fact, the Allies actually had to stop dropping weapons into France, because the French resistance was actually made up of multiple groups, and these guys were ranging anywhere from outright communists to ardent Republicans to conservatives to religious leaders. You know, all these like different groups, and they all hated each other. They all thought like they all just absolutely despised each other. And it was starting to lead to concerns about a potential civil war happening in France right after the war ended. Which is why, you know, they just stopped giving out weapons to the French resistance. Which is kind of a funny little story. Because a lot of people tend to forget this. The French were actually very politically unstable at this time. In fact, part of the reason why the fall of France happened so quickly was because basically a lot of the French basically hated their government. They didn't want to be with their government anymore. In fact, there was a common saying in France, better Hitler than Bloom. Like, they were like, I'd rather be occupied by the Germans than I would have our democratically elected government. Which would kind of, like, tell you how bad the situation in France was for a lot of these people. Let's get the bazooka back here. I'm gonna try to take out that MG. But yeah, the French resistance was not as important as some people make it out to be. Like, they weren't single-handedly responsible for, like, freeing France as much as Charles de Gaulle would have wanted them to be. But they were very good intelligence gatherers. And fun fact, the Dutch were also really good intelligence gatherers. In fact, that's actually the primary reason why the resistance movements were so important to the Allied war effort. It wasn't necessarily because they were going to actually do any real damage to the Germans. they were doing it. They were just providing huge amounts of intelligence to Allied forces. So yeah, I do like how they give the Dutch resistance a bit of a larger role in this story. And they don't go with the generic, here's a sexy French woman resistance fighter who's like, God, I hate that trope. Like, it's important to say, there were absolutely women in resistance movements. In fact, to be honest, it was mostly women in resistance movements because most of the men were taken off to do, like, physical labor or were basically taken more seriously than the women were by the Germans, because basically it's like they kind of were very suspicious of military-aged men because they're like, oh, these guys can easily, like, join resistance movements. So they weren't really taking a look at, like, women or elderly people or even, like, teenagers. And that's actually what most of the resistance movements were made of. Was mostly non-military-aged men. In fact, that's actually why frequently you see women in resistance movements whenever you see like photos of them.
That cover's gotta go!
But yeah, also cool little moment up here. That's an actual building that got shot up in Holland, and they got it pretty dang accurate. You could still tell that there was still a bunch of love put in this game to actually make it historically accurate.
Set up there. Deploy the bazooka there.
Although it does kind of feel like at least the producers or I guess game designers or someone was not as interested as the previous games.
Move to that cover. Take him out! There's a pub around here. Fire!
Dawson, that's not your concern right now. God, I hate Dawson. I hate him partly because, again, he's kind of like a British stereotype. He's also a filthy rat. Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Dawson as a whole.
Get the bazooka out over there. On my way.
Again, oh, wow, okay. This time, we don't have completely oblivious Germans this time. Alright, let's go ahead. Alright. Assault team, move up. Alright, there we go. We got grenades on them. Yeah, there's a grenade.
Stay with me.
Also, this apparently was the Germans' fuel supply. Although, to be fair, in 1944, it probably was their fuel supply. Yeah, Germans were not in a good supply situation. Especially at this point. Oh, there's another kill right here. Let's go and wait. Also, Baker apparently is a good old MLB pitcher. Because holy crap, that's a long way to throw a grenade. Alright, once Jasper has
I want heavy
that
fire
in
on
sight.
that MG.
Awesome. We can now move the assault team probably there.
Set up there.
Also, for some reason, Baker orders Dawson and not Corian, despite Corian being, you know, the fire team leader. I don't know why they do it that way.
Jazz, let's go!
But, you know, that's happened. Again, for some reason, I don't think this game was, like, particularly play-tested all that well. Because if you notice, there's a lot of janky animations. And a lot of... Frankly, a lot of, like...
Dawson, quick, get over there!
I don't know what to describe it as, just jank. Oh, Dawson's dead. Good.
Don't stop firing!
Now we might actually have a competent, assault team.
Put the fire on him!
I also will say, I think there's actually less stakes to,
Frankie! Hurry up, over there!
Really? We're ordering the rookie over the corporal? Wow, that's the biggest insult to Sam. No wonder Sam leaves us at the end of this game. Oh, here's the mandatory, indoor section for a little bit. That's such a worthless section. Okay, you're trying to break it up, and... You okay, mate? Alright, may have lost Dawson.
Get moving, guys.
Oh, nope. He, remembered, he needed to phase back into reality. Again, remember how I said that it seems like this game was not particularly play-tested all that much?
We need the bazooka there. Set up your bazooka over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of glitches in this game. There's a lot of weird jank. And let's go ahead and... Okay.
Get the bazooka over there. Over there. Quick. Deploy over there. Okay, moving. Going there now.
Again, most oblivious
That's it. Get up.
Germans ever.
Dawson, fire on that position.
Alright. Go and take them down.
That's it. Get up.
I'll go move up. And...
You're with me. Rally
yeah,
on me.
I might look this up, but I want to know desperately if this game was rushed in development. It wouldn't really make any sense, but Corian's down. Also, that's another thing I don't particularly like, because your guys get up as the once you kind of like pass a checkpoint. Like, losing your guys really don't matter.
Go!
Like, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Jazz, get
Oh,
moving!
get there. Well, yeah, no wonder you're in a bad spot. You guys decided to leave the spot that I specifically told you to be in. Oh, great.
Fall in on me.
Squad, fall in.
Alright, this time I might
Now,
be assaulting
get the
there.
bazooka over there.
Germans over there. If only they would let us.
Dawson, that's it. Get him!
Frankie, why the hell? Okay, like I said, I don't think they particularly play tested this all that much. Because of like AI like that.
Dawson, suppress those crowds.
Yeah, I think I might, like, in my independent time, kind of look up to see if this game had, like, issues with, development that resulted in that. Well, resulted in stuff like that happening.
Jasper, go! Jazz, put the fire on him!
Alright.
Throw in a grenade!
And it takes the Germans forever to react. Okay.
Fire in the hole!
Come on. Oh, they didn't kill him. Alright, that definitely killed him.
Jazz! I need you over there! Jasper! Fire now! Dawson! Fire!
Yeah, now's when you would order Dawson, because Corian's down.
Keep up the fire!
Alright, well, they got them occupied. Oh, I was gonna try to flank, but... I guess you can't. I mean, that's okay. It's not like this is a squad-based tactics game that relies on flanking a lot. Let's use the baseball arm again. Think I gonna miss it, but nope, got it.
Dawson! I need you over there!
Alright, come on.
Attack them!
Yeah, if you can't tell, this game is not particularly difficult. In fact, Earned in Blood is the hardest game in this series. So once you kind of play through Earned in Blood, and then you get to this game, yeah, it's not too difficult. Alright, awesome. With that, I think that's it for the mission.
It's my son Peter. I cannot locate him.
Yeah, I did wonder, why did you bring your kid to a war zone?
It's my fault entirely. I gave him my gun for protection, not to revenge, you know.
Although I will admit, Nicholas is one of the more
And then he
likable
pulled out one of
characters.
those Hitler Youth knives and tried to shank me with it.
So what happened?
Where to now? Did you see a kid?
What?
I just saw Nick.
He said he lost his kid around here somewhere.
And now the next mission is gonna be us trying to find his kid, which I actually like. It kind of adds a bit more character to the guys. But yeah, with that, we will go ahead and carry it on. Now the weird thing is that Market Garden, I believe, is actually towards the middle of the game. Oh, well, it's not quite the middle, but it's kind of the end of Act 1. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play this next time. So if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed, and have a wonderful day.